Hey, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of Let's Gab About It.
Okay, so I'm Maddie, and this is Mallory. We're the Gabbert Girls.
We're
Formerly.
the Gabbert Girls.
We now have new last names.
Yes.
But we were the Gabbert
Not
Girls.
because you made it sound like we're in like witness protection or something.
Oh, no, we just
we're
both
just
got
married.
So now we're going to have a podcast.
She came to me. She said this for months, but Friday she called me with so much enthusiasm.
Passion.
Lots of passion about this is how we're going to do it, and this is when we're going to do it. And so I said, okay, let's do it.
Well, if you know us, you would know that we are the number one yappers, gabbers, chatters. We could just go on for hours and hours. When we have FaceTime calls,
they last a while.
Long. Yes, they last a long time, and we just can't ever hang up the phone. It's like, okay, bye. Oh, and this. Okay, bye. And this. I need to tell you this. And so I just hit me. I was like, oh my gosh, why are we not using these God-given talents?
Very true. To do a podcast. And it's like icing on the cake that our last name was Gabbert.
Yes.
Or I feel like we're going to offend mom and dad. Our maiden names are Gabbert.
Maiden.
And so Gab about it.
Also, in school, I guess this probably didn't happen to you, but my name is Maddie. So my teachers would always call me Gabby because they would see my first name and my last name. I got Gabby like at least 5 times a year by teachers that had been calling me by my name all year long. It'd be like 3 weeks left in school and they'd be like, Gabby? And I'd be like, never heard of her.
No, I never got called Gabby. But I can't tell you how many times I got on her. I always made really good grades. Like, really good grades, if I may say so myself.
It is true.
That is the ADHD. But I always got talking during class time.
Oh, yes. We both always got B's
in conduct.
Yes,
conduct. I don't really consider talking conduct.
Yes.
Talking is a way of life. It is a skill.
Again, passion.
Passionate about lots of things. And we're going to do a really cool first episode talking about things that we are currently passionate or
hyperfixated on.
Yes. Called this. What's it called? This.
I didn't know it had a name.
Yes, this, but there's a name for this portion. This portion of the podcast is called, no, that's not right either. Segment. It's a segment.
Okay.
This segment of the podcast is called 5 Fixations.
Oh, did I name that or did you name that?
You did. You said it the other day.
Oh.
I don't know if she figured out that she had named it, but
no.
She said, we're going to do 5 fixations. And then that just kind of stuck. The alliteration stuck.
Yes. Okay. I like that idea.
Okay. I think you should go first with your first one.
So we do.
I didn't write mine down though.
I didn't write mine down either. So it's kind of just going to be off the whim.
Okay.
So I do one and then you do one and then I do one?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to say our fixation and then we'll chat about it a little bit. Okay?
Okay.
Wait,
I have to say something.
Okay.
She's been at my house now for like over an hour and we keep talking and going, oh no, we can't talk about this. We need to talk about this on the podcast. So
yeah, because I want it to be authentic.
Yes. We don't want it to be scripted.
No.
So anyway, okay.
Okay. My number one, I guess, fixation at the moment is going to be Briggs's bouncy chair. I have a 4-month-old son.
So not what I was thinking it was going to be.
And before all my coworkers come at me, he's not in the bouncy chair all day or for long periods of time. His hips are going to be fine.
I think you should mention what you do.
I'm a PTA, a pediatric PTA. So nobody come for me. I promise I'm being appropriate with my bouncy chair for my baby. But I love it. Hyperfixated on it because, one, it makes Briggs so happy. And he just bounces, and then he gets excited.
Springs his little leg.
Yes. And so then I get excited. And it gives me time to get ready in the morning. Because I can just set him in the chair and do my hair and then just look at him and talk to him. Which we had a bouncy chair from Mallory. Or maybe it was from my mom that then somehow it ended up at Mallory's house and then it ended up at my house.
Mom wanted me to sell it on Facebook Marketplace, but it was Graco and you can't say Graco on Facebook Marketplace or they flag it and then...
Wait, what? I bought Graco things off Facebook Marketplace.
Well, I don't know how they did it because I put Graco swing and it had like a bouncy chair that was attached to it and it immediately got flagged. I don't know how it works. Anyway, so that's how it ended up at my house.
Well, Briggs likes that one, but it makes him throw up. He has like spit up issues. So then I had to get this one off, and I got it off TikTok Shop. It was really cheap, $42, and Briggs loves it. It's fabulous. So that's my number one fixation.
That is not. I thought you were gonna. I don't know. Okay. Now I have to pick which one I want to go first. I think my current fixation is. Oh, I have recently, not really recently, but I like coffee. I think I'm more like cream than coffee.
Mm-hmm.
But I recently, like in August, which seems like a long time now, started like no added sugar. I don't do any added sugar for the most part. But Starbucks coming for you. You really stink at this. You don't have any sugar-free options. You have sugar-free vanilla and that's it. Nobody wants that.
Boring.
Nobody wants a sugar-free vanilla latte. Like, no thanks, Karen. I'll take something more fun. I like fun things.
Yeah.
I like to try new things. I like new coffee drinks. Truthfully, it all kind of tastes the same to me, but
I'm with you on that. It does all taste the same.
Yeah, you could get like a red velvet at, where did I get a red velvet? Oh, there's a place in New Braunfels where I live called On the Grind, and they're slowly expanding. I wouldn't be surprised if you had an On the Grind in Georgetown at some point. Anyway.
You might. Who knows?
They had like a red velvet, and it didn't taste anything different to me than like a regular, like.
Yeah. They all taste like caramel to me.
Yes. Anyway, I still want the option though.
Right.
So, Dutch Brothers.
We're big Dutch Bros people here.
Dutch Bros. And sometimes I say Dutch Bros and sometimes I say Dutch Brothers.
Shout out to Dana, Dutch Brothers.
Yes, does she say Dutch Brothers?
She says Dutch Brothers, yes. And she, when she first said it to me, I was like, Mom, it's Dutch Bros. And she was like, yeah, bros, short for brothers, Madeline. And I was like, okay, Mom, that's lame. And now we've kind of just all...
I don't think we even really
we
need
all
to
just
say it
Dutch
the way
brothers.
Yeah. But I think it really is supposed to be bros because they're so like hip and cool. And...
Yeah. Do they ask you, they always say, so what do you got going on today?
Yes,
and
I think that's got to be in their training.
Work. Like, and then what do they say? Oh, fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yep. And then it gets kind of awkward. And I'm not one for awkward silence.
No, we like to talk, but...
But in the morning before I've even gotten the coffee, no, ma'am.
Yeah.
Give me a break. Just tell me how much I owe you, and then
let me listen to
close the window on me. Even close it.
Yeah, I'm okay with that too.
I will not be offended.
Although I will tell you, that is not my fixation is Dutch Bros, but they have protein milk. Have you ever had it? Well, you probably can't right now, but
no. But I have heard of it.
Yes, so good. Love it. Makes me feel like my little coffee pick me up in the morning is good for me.
Mm-hmm.
Also, they have so many sugar-free options. Like you can get anything sugar-free. So I never go to Starbucks anymore.
Sorry, not Starbucks. Sponsored, by the way.
Not sponsored. That would be crazy, but
that would be wild.
What was I going to say about them? Oh, one time when I was going to Dutch Bros, they're usually super, super nice. And this one girl, she comes up to the car. It was freezing cold outside that day, and I felt so bad because they were having to like come out. They don't have like a drive-up talk in the speaker thing. They like come out and take your order, which is also kind of awkward sometimes. Anyway, and this girl, she said to me, okay, what can I get you? Whatever. She was really nice. Well, then one of her coworkers came up. I guess she had just gotten there. She came to her, and she was like, girl, what's going on? And the girl that took my order, we're going to call her Sarah. Sarah was like, oh, girl, I'm so mad. Phil, I don't remember what the boss's name was. We're going to call him Phil. Scheduled me at this time and is not letting me do this. And yet she was ticked at her boss. So she turns to me and she goes, happy birthday. And I was like, what? And then when I got up to the window, they're like, happy birthday. We hope you enjoy your free drink. She was so mad at her boss that she gave me a free drink.
That's so nice.
It was so nice. It was great.
Dutch Bros for the win.
Yes.
They also do make really good. So she's been drinking coffee for like ages.
Since I was in college.
Yeah. I've never been into coffee, and neither has my husband. We're not coffee people. But then recently, right before I got pregnant with my baby, we decided we were going to be coffee people. And then I got pregnant. And so, of course, I was like, coffee, disgusting. No, thank you. Smells terrible. And Tucker loved coffee. Actually, let me take that back, because if he listens to this, he's going to be like, I do not love coffee. I don't think that he really loves it. I'm not really sure why he drinks it, actually. I don't even know if he likes it.
It's an
but he
adult
drinks it.
grown-up thing to
Yeah,
do.
yeah. And so then I had a baby, and I had an energy drink addiction, and then I had to get detox from that because it's not good for you, whatever. So now I drink coffee, and I've really grown up. And Dutch Bros is why I started drinking coffee, because Mallory introduced me to Dutch Bros, and I
Shout
tried
out
it.
to Carson and Crystal because they showed it to us.
Okay, yeah. So I guess it's a long string.
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody showed
They
it
didn't
to
used
them.
to be down here.
Yeah. And so then now I love Dutch Bros coffee. And so then Tucker and I had a Keurig, but we didn't really use it. And now we have an espresso machine. I drink coffee every day. It's part of my daily routine. And if I don't get it, I do get a headache now. So, and the reason I was saying that is Dutch Bros is really good about her sugar-free, and I'm on a dairy-free, soy-free journey as well. And they have oat milk, which most places do have oat milk.
Yeah.
So it's not that hard for me to find a dairy-free drink, but
But if you have to use oat milk and then you can only have sugar-free vanilla Starbucks, it's not good.
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Totes agree.
Yeah, I remember when I was dairy-free and trying to find something, because at that point we only had Starbucks or On the Grind. On the Grind is okay. They have some of their syrups sugar-free, but again, not like Dutch Bros. Thank you, God, for Dutch Bros.
Yeah, it's amazing. You know who else loves Dutch Bros?
Who?
Shane Dawson. He's like
Yes.
obsessed
I should
with
put that
Dutch
as one of
Bros.
my fixations.
I actually
love
thought
Shane
you were going to
Dawson.
put that as
No,
one of your
I
fixations.
love Shane Dawson so much. I love his podcast that he does. I love the vlogs that he does with Ryland. I love his conspiracy videos. I've watched him. Oh, Lord.
A long time. She's been trying to get me to watch him for a long time. And I
Since
like dabble.
before I got pregnant with Avery, because I watched him while I was pregnant with Avery.
Yes.
Like a lot. But
Yeah.
I watched it before that. I think it was like even when I was engaged. So in
I
2018.
think when I was in college,
Yeah.
you watched it.
Yes. I love Shane Dawson. Anyway, he does love Dutch Bros.
Yes. And they don't have it in
California. They only have it in Colorado, as Ryland says.
Yeah. Oh, he does say it like that.
Yeah, Colorado.
Also, I just realized that I said right, and then I just said yeah, and that's so annoying. So I'm gonna stop doing that.
You're gonna have to put a little
cut
count
that out.
at the bottom. It says like how many times she's done it. Okay, your next fixation.
Okay, let me think. What should be my next one?
She said she had like 8, and I was having trouble coming up with 5.
Yeah, but now I'm like on the spot, and I should have written them down. I'm a little panicky. Well, I'm just gonna say one, bitch. This is gonna open a can of worms.
Oh no, I'm ready for it.
Because
lay it on me, girl.
We're just gonna chat, gab.
What is it?
My next hyperfixation is. Oh, okay. Wait, I have 2. I remembered one of them.
Okay.
Well, okay. One of them is Summer House, the reality TV show, but I really wanted to like broaden it to all reality TV because I love reality TV. I could gab about it for hours. At work, every morning we have like a 10-minute, 20-minute long discussion about all the reality TV that happened the night before, like what shows we're on, what our opinions are. So right now it's like Summer House, Traders. You would love that show. I think I told you about it.
I don't know if you have. I don't know what Summer House is either.
And Love is Blind, but Love is Blind is weak, so we don't even really need to talk about that. This season is
Not good.
not good. Summer
I think
House.
I watched maybe part of a season of Love is Blind. I'm so bad about TV
Yeah,
shows.
this is another thing. I said for the podcast we could do like a whole reality TV episode.
It would flop because
Shoot.
I don't watch. Except I'll get to that in a second because it is one of mine fixations, but it's also very sad. There are some things that I watch, but I'm usually very late to the game.
Yes.
Like when they started watching Emily in Paris, I was like, "What is this?" And then
She did watch that one.
season 3 is when I started watching season 1, and then I finished it all. But you know what? I still have not finished the last season that's out on Netflix. But because
It's the worst
we fight.
season, but
Oh,
it's still
really?
good. Yeah.
Oh. Well, we fight over the Netflix account. Either you and me or me and mom. So
Well,
anyway.
I got my own Netflix, so now you can have Mom's.
Oh, great. Yes.
Um,
Anyway, sorry. Your fixation.
you also like Only Murders in the Building.
Oh, that's not reality.
That's not
TV,
reality.
though.
Well, neither is
But
Emily in
yes.
Paris.
No, it's not, I guess. But
But just any TV in general, she's kind of slow at.
I'm more of a YouTube girl.
Yeah. She also just like,
I don't have a lot of time.
yeah, I was going to say she uses like, she has better time management and uses her time wiser than watching TV. Like Tucker and I love to watch TV.
I don't know that I would say that. I think I spend more time scrolling my phone. which is literally is what I'm giving up for Lent, is like scrolling my phone.
I'm so proud of you.
Ah, gosh, it's so bad. Because I will literally sit down and be like, don't you dare open that app as my thumb is clicking on it. I thought they were connected, my brain and my thumb, and apparently they're not. Because the next thing I know, I look up and I'm like, okay, fine, Mallory. If you're going to scroll, you can scroll for 5 minutes.
Oh, I do the timer thing too. And
Well,
then
does
it
it
goes
work?
by and then I'm like, okay, 15 more minutes.
Yeah. Or I'll be like, okay, you can scroll till 6:30. And then I look up and it's 6:32. And I'm like, guess I got to go to 6:45.
So true.
And then
you
next
can only
thing
go
you know,
up 15-minute increments.
Yes. Next thing you know, I'm late getting ready for.
Well, because half the time the TikTok is 10 minutes long. And you have to watch the whole thing.
Oh gosh, that's a whole other thing, girl. I deleted TikTok
And you
before
can't get it back.
TikTok.
But no,
went
you can
away.
now.
I know.
Oh.
And I almost did the other day. And Robbie was sitting right next to me. And I was about to hit the get button on the App Store.
Mhm.
And I could feel him like looking at me and judging me. And I was like, I can't do it. He's going to think I'm selling my information to China. So I didn't do it. But you know what? The day is young. It may happen. But I just use Instagram Reels now, which I know is like,
It's the same thing. It's the mom version.
well, yeah, and everything's like a month late.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay.
There it was again. It just came out.
Okay, so tell me about your
reality
fixation.
TV.
Yes.
So, Summer House, you actually would like it, but it is 9 seasons. I did, in fact, start on season 3.
What is it on?
It's on Peacock, which I'll give you my login if you
I
don't
already
have
have your login. I watched it during
it.
football season.
Okay, perfect. Because we logged in here one time.
I guess so.
Okay.
We were so happy though.
So the Summer House is like the rich people, classy people version of Jersey Shore.
What?
So it's like rich people that live in New York, and then every weekend over the summer, they go to the Hamptons.
I would like that.
Yeah, except for it's even better than Jersey Shore because on Jersey Shore, they'll be like behind their
Cabs
back.
here?
Yeah. Yeah. Cabs here. They'll be like,
Party's here.
he'll say,
I could go all night
Sam,
with Jersey Shore.
after you left the club, what did she say?
Oh.
Ron put his head in between a woman's breasts. Okay, so instead of writing a letter on the computer in the ice cream shop or the library or whatever, they'll just go up to them and be like, why the F did you talk about me? And they're just not afraid.
I don't know that I could do that. I think that would give me a heart attack.
No, but it's not anxiety inducing because the other person is like, oh, well, I did it because of this reason. Like, it's not like this big, I don't know. It's just so good. We have to start in season 3 because Paige DeSorbo and Hannah Berner come on season 3. And season 1 through 3, season 1 and 2 isn't as good.
Okay.
But there's 9 seasons. Well, season 9 is airing right now.
Okay.
So that's why it's my hyperfixation because I have to wait every week for a new episode to come out. And then Traders, you would actually love. You and Robert should watch it together. No, because it's just like it's a TV version of Mafia.
Really?
The game.
Really?
And you'd love the game Mafia.
Yes.
So I don't know who the host is. He's like a famous guy. I guess I should look him up or know.
Famous guy.
But he like dresses up in these outfits and it's like kind of scary because obviously the people get murdered.
Not in real life.
They don't actually get murdered. And then they get sent home and then they have to do like a round table where they discuss who they think did it and then they send somebody out and they have to say if they're a traitor or a townsperson.
What is this on?
Peacock.
Also on Peacock?
Yes.
Robert, I know what we're going to do tonight.
They don't call it townspeople. What do they call it? A faithful.
A faithful?
Yeah, instead of a townsperson.
I don't get it. Okay.
Yes. And so, but it's like, it's good. And they have to do challenges, but there are some clown challenges.
Oh, Lord.
But it's okay. My friend Lexi doesn't like clowns and she watches it. She actually, I didn't even know she watched it. She's watched all the seasons and I've only watched this new season and she doesn't like clowns and she watches it. So I think it'll be okay.
We need to do an episode that's like anti-icks.
Oh, yeah, we could do that.
Clowns give me the ick big time. And kangaroos, but that's a whole other story.
Yeah, kangaroos are not it for you.
I need to watch that show.
Yes.
Both of those shows. Like, when you said Jersey Shore, I forgot. Like, I went through a whole phase in high school when I watched Jersey Shore. Now I'm going to be thinking about that letter that they wrote.
Oh, yeah.
And Floribama Shore. Love Floribama Shore.
My gosh. Speaking of Floribama Shore, Amy.
Yes.
I saw her on TikTok and she like, I don't know if she lost a bunch of weight or she did Botox or got her lip filler. I don't know. She looked So good.
Really?
Yes, amazing. And Nilsa's like a mom now.
I've seen Nilsa. I think I follow her on Instagram. I think. But yeah, they cracked me up. Kodai
Yeah.
and Candace, which stairs.
So fun. That episode was so funny.
Oh, and then the episode when Candace graduates from anger management school and they throw
No,
her the
Amy graduates.
I mean,
from
not
anger
Candace.
management.
Amy, yeah. Graduates from anger management and they throw her that party and then she throws the cake.
Yes. And what is she? What is her thing? 1, 2,
yes.
3, or something like that.
Yeah, some kind of breathing that she does. Or she's like, I have to get out of here. I've been through anger management. Anyway, I love that show.
It's classic.
I'll have to go back and watch the Summer House and Traders.
Yes. Well, Summer House, I feel like you would like less, so maybe start with Traders.
Okay, I'll watch it with Robbie.
Yeah, Robert would like it.
Okay.
If it's also like a game show, like they win.
Oh, okay.
Like cool. A winner. Like obviously the Mafia, you don't want to be. Sorry, I'm having a hard time with my words, which is really embarrassing because that's the whole point of this. Is to like be able to speak, and I'm struggling. Mafia, the whole point is to figure out who the Mafia is, and you don't want the Mafia to outnumber the townspeople.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Traders, but like there's money involved. But it's all like people from TV shows or like famous people like The Bachelorette or The Real Housewives or like Zac Efron's brother was on this season.
I didn't know Zac Efron had a brother.
Yeah. A drag queen, Bob the drag queen was on it. People from Survivor, Big Brother. So it's like already famous people on this show. There's one season I want to go back and watch it, and it has Anna Kendrick on it.
Ooh, yeah.
So also like she's like a really famous person.
She doesn't
like,
need
not,
money. What
yeah,
do you do with
not
the
like
money?
reality TV famous. She's like famous. But then Remy Bader was also on her season, I think, and she's like a TikTok star.
Yeah, that's interesting. They bring people together.
Yes. So, anyways, that's my hyperfixation number 2.
My hyperfixation number 2, I guess we can go with reality TV, is I'm a little bit sad about it, is Married at First Sight Australia. RIP. Let's just take a moment.
What happened? Silence. They didn't renew it?
Oh no, they renewed it. Everybody in the world is going crazy over this show. A good friend of mine, Sydney, we were at church on Sunday, and she was talking to another girl. She was talking to Sue, who was from our small group. And Sue said, hey, girl, what'd you do this weekend? And she was like, girl, she's also pregnant. So she's just been, relaxing, taking her time throughout the week. She's a teacher, so she's very stressed out during the week. Shout out to you, Sydney. But during the weekend, she was watching this MAFSA, is what they called it.
Okay.
Married at First Sight Australia.
Got it.
So she said that she had spent the entirety of her Saturday watching MAFSA, Married at First Sight Australia. And that was on YouTube, and she's like, you have to watch it. These people are crazy. Like, in Australia, marriages are not it's not a binding thing. Like, you don't have to sign anything. It's just a ceremony. And so I was like, okay, I got bored one night. I'll watch it. I got hooked, right? Watched the first episode. The next day, I watched episode 2 and 3. The next day, went on YouTube to watch episode 4. Australia caught on. And they realized that Americans were watching this on YouTube, and now everything is copyrighted, and you can't see any more of the episodes. And I am so sad.
Do they not stream it anywhere?
They stream it on 9 Now, which is an Australian thing. We don't have it here. So I literally, and so did Sydney, contemplated buying a VPN. Don't ask me what that means. Something Robbie told me. So that I could look like I was in Australia. It's not illegal either, don't worry. So that I could look like I was in Australia and stream their videos and stuff.
I don't understand that they don't have it on any other show because any other streaming service, because Netflix has like Love is Blind UK, Love is Blind Dubai.
I don't know
why
we can't find it anywhere, and we've been looking. And
did you check Peacock?
So yeah, I checked everywhere, everywhere.
Interesting.
And it was so sad. So save your heart and don't look for it. But it was so good because oh my gosh, this one girl, her name was Katie. Was it Katie? It's been like a week since I've watched it. I really related with Katie because Katie was not this like super thin supermodel girl, and she's like, I just want to find a man that I can get married to, and we can have kids, and I'm just excited about this next chapter of life. But she was really worried. She broke down in the dressing room with her wedding dress on, and she's like, I feel like I'm trapping somebody into a marriage, What if
Oh,
they
how kind of her.
I know, but she was like, what if they don't think I'm beautiful and I've trapped them in this marriage?
Sad.
Right. So then they show who she's matched with, and it's like, oh, this is going to be perfect. His name was Tim. Not good. But he was like, I'm the nice guy. I'm always considered the nice guy. Also, not a supermodel either.
Okay.
Not super buff.
Men
not,
always have this
He's a little bit
complex.
husky. You know what? We love a husky guy.
Yeah.
You need somebody to keep you warm in the middle of the night. Anyway, especially, well, maybe not in Australia, but it doesn't matter. So he's like, I'm the nice guy. I always, I get walked all over because I'm the nice guy. People tell me I'm the nice guy too much. He was an elementary school PE teacher. I was like, this is so wonderful.
course.
She was a farmer of some sort. She was so beautiful.
She had chickens.
I think she had sheep maybe, but she had this beautiful red hair and she just was the most beautiful person. And I was like, this is going to be so wonderful. He's so nice. They go through the ceremony and she was like so awkward because she was so nervous.
Mm-hmm.
They get done. They walk back down the aisle and he walks straight up to his producer and he's like, I'm effing pissed. She is not what I'm looking for. I usually go with the petite type.
That's literally the point of Married at First Sight.
He was so rude to her. And so then the whole night during the wedding, she was like trying to, get to know him some, and something like she leaned in for like a kiss on the cheek and he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't stand close to her for their wedding pictures.
Screw Tim.
That night, yeah, seriously. That night they had their, like they send him like to stay somewhere and then they go on their honeymoon the next day. And he went to her room and he's like, or he went to the living room to meet with her and he's like, I don't want to stay in the same room. So we need to stay in separate rooms. So she went to her room and then he came and knocked on her door and was like, just so you know, I don't feel a spark or any kind of anything for you.
Tim sucks. Let's riot.
He was terrible. Yeah, seriously, he was awful. I was so mad. And like Sydney got through, I think she got through like 11 of the episodes and it's like a 20 or 23, 24 episode season. And so she's even more invested and even more mad, but she said, yeah, Tim sucks.
So Tim, if you're listening, don't. Turn us off.
Do better.
And do better.
Yeah, anyway, so that is my current fixation, but it's going to end there because I can't watch it anymore.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. Anyway, okay, what's your next fixation?
Okay, well, if we might run out of time, so we're only going to do 3 fixations because I knew this was going to happen. We could talk forever again. Yap, yap, yap. But I'm going to end it on a good one. My other current fixation is not ACOTAR. I feel like that may be one of Mallory's fixations, but mine, because I already read all of A Court of Thorns and Roses is the book.
By Sarah J. Maas.
Yeah, but you can just say ACOTAR because it's quick.
That's what the people who are in with it say.
Yeah, well, that's what the cool people say. My friend calls it that at work, and so then I started calling it that. But I already read the whole season and already had my moment with it. So now somebody told me to read Fourth Wing.
Is that what Amber told you to read?
Maybe. I had like multiple
She's
people
read
tell
all
me
of
to
them.
read it because I read A Court of Thorns and Roses. And so everybody was like, now you have to read Fourth Wing. So I started it and I was having a little bit of a hard time just because when you go from first of all, let me preface this. I am not into like fantasy books that much. I want romance. I like a rom-com book.
Mm-hmm.
I like rom-com movies and I like fantasy movies. But like when I'm reading, I'm more into like a rom-com. Like
there's a lot of world building and you have to like be able to picture it. And sometimes I can't muddle through that.
Yes. Like I'm a big Colleen Hoover girl. And so whenever somebody told me, it was actually one of my really good friends' cousin was like, you have to read this book. It's amazing. And she was like, it's fantasy. And I was like, And she was like, no, but you'll like it. And I was like, okay. So it took me a really long time to get into ACOTAR because it was fantasy and because of the world building.
Mm-hmm.
Now I guess I like fantasy because I started reading Fourth Wing, kind of similar vibes to ACOTAR where I was like, I don't know, like this is kind of confusing. There's a lot of names that I don't understand how to pronounce.
Oh yeah, it seems like she just like threw a dart at an alphabet to pick some of these names.
And then there's like these cities and these different like
Territories.
creatures. And I was like, okay, whatever. But then I got, I guess, to like the middle of Fourth Wing. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good. And so I couldn't put it down. We were in East Texas with Tucker's family. And I just could not put the book down. I finished it while we were there. And so now I'm on the second one. But I haven't been reading it as much because I went back to work. And so now I don't have as much reading time. But I will say fantasy books now, I guess, are my fixation.
Fantasy, the whole of fantasy books. Well, mine was going to be ACOTAR, but I don't know if we can talk about it for a second. Like,
we just don't want to give away any spoilers.
that's what's hard, is because Amber, my best friend, kept telling me, like, well, we can't talk about it yet because something big is going to happen and you're not going to know. And if I tell you, then it's going to give it away. Now, my husband, Robbie, very into fantasy, reads these books too. He gave me the courtesy of reading the first one first. I don't read slowly, but I don't have a ton of time. Like,
Right.
I read before the kids wake up and after the kids go to bed. And I go to bed at like 9:30, unless I
Same
start
here.
scrolling. But, yeah, and it could be 11:30, I don't know. But anyway, so Robbie reads at the speed of light. For example, the third book is 700 pages on the dot, 700 pages. It took me like 2 weeks because I didn't have a whole lot of time to read. 2 days. I finished it.
Insane.
He stayed up that night until 2 a.m. I woke up and I reached over and I'm like, why is the TV still on? Why does it feel like you're still awake? I reach over and I feel hair and I'm like, it was the dog. It was not Robbie. Robbie was, and I was like, oh, no. Why is he still awake? But then I was also like, I'm not getting out of this bed. I'm warm right now.
Mhm.
So anyway, turns out he came to bed at 2 a.m. because he'd been reading that book. He finished it in 48 hours. The whole thing.
The red book.
The purple. The purple book's the third one.
Oh, the red book is the first one.
Yeah. It's
the third
red, then teal, then purple, then
Then
blue,
blue.
then orange. So then I went to women's retreat this weekend. I have not finished the fourth book, which is small. It's only 224 pages or something like that.
It's like a novella.
Yeah, it really is. It's
Mhm.
done by different, like, perspective of people. Anyway, so he texts me, or I texted him on Friday night, like, hey, how did bedtime go with the kids? Did never answer back. It didn't bother me. I'm like, okay, I'm doing things. Well, then he texts back. He goes, hey, sorry, I've been reading. I'm like, you finished the book, didn't you? And he's like, yeah. One
fourth
night.
book?
Yes, one night. So then he tells me, oh, I started the last one. I'm like, oh my gosh. And supposedly that one's like really spicy. Yes. So if you like spicy, a girl at our church, we play handbells together, man. Here you are in a pink blazer with cheetah sleeves, and here I am in a black top talking about handbells at church.
You are the coolest mom I know.
Thank you so much. That's so kind of you. Ring a ding ding. Anyway.
Ding dong.
Actually, we really are very good at Carol of the Bells.
Can you give us a little example?
Well, when we play that one, I play D. So
Let's hear
I'm
it.
the ding, dun, ding, dong, ding, dun, ding, dong. So you have to have
Love
really
it.
good rhythm, if I may say so myself. If I may say so myself. Anyway, I don't play that right now. Right now I play F and G next to Amber. But a friend of ours named Monica, she was talking about a book or something. Oh no, the girl next to me, her name is Kelly. Love her. She does ASL and she's really good at it. She does it for the church and I get really distracted watching her.
Mhm.
But she had her Stanley and it had, like they had like the engraving and stuff on it. And Amber goes, hey, Kelly, what's on your cup? And she's like, oh, it's ACOTAR, like kind of embarrassed. And we're like, oh my gosh, we read that.
Mhm.
And so then Monica walks up and she's like, what are y'all talking about? And we're like, oh, ACOTAR. And so I turned to her, I'm like, do you read? Meaning, like, I feel like people say that. Like, do you read? Do you
Yeah.
read? Not like, can you read? But like, do you like to read? And I said, do you read? And she goes, I am literate. So I've said that no less than like 50 times since
I
then.
am literate.
I am literate. Anyway, so.
Did she read the book?
No, I'm going to bring it to her on Tuesday when we have handbells again.
Oh, perfect.
I bet she's really going to like it. So
I bet so. Our moms read it. Our grandmas read it.
that kind of is interesting to me sometimes because there are some parts that I'm like, this is very, very, very detailed about what y'all are doing in your nighttime.
They
things.
skip over the pages.
They
We
do?
talked about it.
Oh.
Um,
Oh no, Grammy told me one time there was 8 pages worth, so I guess she was skipping over the pages.
Yes.
But
So I read the first book and then I told Dana about it. And then she read the first book. And then we got, oh, sorry, I can't use my hand with the mic. I'm like, we got a little bit tangled in there about who read what first. Anyway, she ended up finishing before me.
Mom did. She did that
Yes.
with Twilight too.
Yes, she
We don't need to talk about it. It's a
she
salty
goes
subject.
rogue and so normally one of us buys the book and then you pass it around.
Yes.
And then the
yes.
next person buys the second book and then we pass it around and then back and forth. So it's fair. Well, she went rogue like 4 times. I
She
still
does
think
that.
I bought all the books. I think she started reading them on her Kindle or something, or audiobooks. But then I told Grammy about it because my grandma loves fantasy.
Mm.
So I told her about it, and then she read them all, and they both finished it before me. Where I was on maternity leave, still working on the last book, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we've been done for ages," and I was like, "Oh, I need to finish." Well, then I told Grammy and Mom they need to read Fourth Wing, and Mallory needs to read Fourth Wing, but it took Mallory forever to start ACOTAR, so I haven't even really tried to
There
get
was
her
just a
on Fourth Wing.
lot of world building, and that was hard.
Yes,
I
but
need the dialogue. I don't need it took me 3 sentences to talk about one piece of dirt on a leaf.
well, Fourth Wing is better then because
Okay.
it's less world building. I mean, you still have to learn about like their world because it's a different world, but less fairies, more dragons.
Interesting. Let's go back to Mom going rogue. When we were reading Twilight, Mom and I was in high school.
I was too young.
She was too young. But I read the first one after I saw the movie. Well, that's kind of a sin, but
I can't do it. I don't know how you did it.
I didn't. A bunch of my friends were going to see the movie, and I wanted to hang out with them, so I just went to go see the
Fair.
movie. And then I was like, "Oh, this is pretty good." So then I started reading the books. The last one came out, and it was like the biggest book, of course. And I went and I bought it like midnight. Waited outside a bookstore. I'm really not making my coolness meter go up. Anyway,
Cool, you're
Hastings at the time, and got this book and read a lot of it that night or whatever. But then I was savoring it. You know, you savor a piece of pie or cake. I was savoring
Yes.
this book. It was the last book, and I knew it was the last book. So I would make myself like read one chapter, and then I would put it down. And the next night before I bed, I would read one more chapter. And then my mom decided she needed to read it. And so I started hiding this book.
Oh my
so
gosh.
Mom couldn't find it. Yes, it was toxic. I started hiding this book in my room. I still remember, in between the mattress and the bed spring, or in the box spring.
What?
Mom found it like a dog sniffing out a treat, stole it, and I had to wait until Mom finished it before I could finish the book that I
Savage.
bought.
Savage.
I was so mad at her. Apparently, I'm still a little bit salty about it, but
Clearly.
anyway.
Okay, but you know what that makes me think of is whenever y'all were reading this book, I, again, was not old enough.
Mhm.
And I think I was in like 6th grade or something when the first movie came out. Well, this is actually kind of embarrassing, but let's be vulnerable.
Oh, gosh. The first episode, we're going to be vulnerable?
Yes, of course. Because we're vulnerable people and they want to give the people what they want.
They want the testimony. Go ahead.
So I don't know whose idea it was, but my mom put this like bucket in our bathroom. We shared a bathroom.
Oh, my
And
gosh.
our bathroom was American flag themed, first of all. Interesting choice. Right? And
Yeah, it
we
was
had, like,
for a long
stars.
time. And the bucket had the American flag on it.
Yes. And
Sitting
in the
right
bucket,
in front of the potty.
right in front of the toilet. I don't know. It was like a decorative bucket.
Yeah,
it
yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
like a pail and bucket, it was like a decor thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know who started doing it, but we started putting books in there so that when we were on the toilet
Or in the bath.
or in the bath, but really for when we were on the toilet, because this was before iPhones, people. So how
was.
else were you supposed to entertain yourself while you were?
Reading the back of shampoo bottles.
Yes, we would also do that. But we just started filling up books. Well, Twilight got in there and was in there for years, I think. And I would always pick it up and be like, I'm going to read this. And then it would just be so daunting because it was like 8 million pages. So I was like, I cannot.
I'm not going to read this.
No, but I would read the first page over and over and over and over and over again every time I was going to the bathroom.
What was the name of the lady that wrote those books?
Stephanie Meyer.
Stephanie Meyer. I knew the last name was Meyer, but I was thinking Nancy doesn't sound right.
No, that's Nancy Drew.
Maybe Nancy Drew. Anyway.
Okay.
Well, we're about to hit the time, and this thing is about to shut off again. So
It's been so fun.
this has been so fun. I don't know when we're going to be able to do the next one.
I know.
We don't
but
live that far away from each other.
If
But
y'all
it's just far enough.
Yes, yes. And I mean, I know we're not famous yet, but if you
She's convinced. Passion. She's passionate.
If y'all have any topics or any ideas for things you want us to chat about, gab about, we'd love to gab about them. So let us know.
And thanks for watching.
Bye.